Joining us now, New York gubernatorial candidate Congressman Lee Zeldin from House Financial Services, along with C3 Solutions, Nick Loris. Congressman, and by the way, gentlemen, it's great to have you on. Congressman, does it have to be this way? Your reaction to Edwards' report there?
No, it definitely doesn't have to be this way. And this was something that a lot of people saw coming. But unfortunately, the Biden White House, as they were going through 2021, were insisting that it was transitory. They were putting out one package after another to spend $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. They weren't pursuing ways to deal with inflation and supply chain crisis. Then the spending's been way out of control. And even to this day, they're not even acknowledging that this problem even exists. So how can you expect any types of solutions? So no, it doesn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way. But this is exactly what happens when you have an absence of leadership doing their part.
You know, to the congressman's point, Nick, what do you think? Because Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Chase, saying, you know, you don't think you can spend $6 trillion and expect you're not going to have inflation. Nick, what do you say?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's put the economy in this difficult position where interest rate hikes are going to be a necessary evil to combat inflation. But it didn't have to be this way. You know, turning to energy policy, if the administration would have unleashed our abundance of energy, actually did some permitting reform instead of paid lip service to permitting reform, we could be in a much different situation where energy prices were more affordable, energy was more reliable, and we'd be making some of the environmental progress that both sides
and you would have U.S. oil and gas workers doing what they do best. Get the U.S. manufacturing on the stick. Get them on the stick to fix inflation. I mean, it's so off the wall what they're doing. Congressman, let's watch Patrick McHenry. He's going after Democrats on your committee, House Financial Services, today for attacking bank CEOs. You're going to then see Democrats go after Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Chase. He's been criticizing their policies. Watch this.
We're going to hear Democrats encourage banks to make lending decisions based off woke politics rather than creditworthiness. Coupled with reckless spending, Democrats' bad policymaking is devastating Americans' budgets. The price of gas is still higher today than it was a year ago, and that threatens to spike again this winter. Groceries are more expensive, up more than 13% from this time last year. Biden's inflation continues to clobber American families. And if none of that bothers you, how about this? The Biden administration is treating the U.S. Treasury like it's its own mega bank, doling out $500 billion in taxpayer dollars to repay student loans. It's a shame, it's theater, and it offers zero solutions to millions of Americans who are bearing the financial brunt of the Democrats' virtue signaling.
I just had one other thing.
I don't think, not on my time you can.
No one is doing...
Reclaiming my time, Mr.
Time
Dimon.
belongs to the gentleman from California.
Why were Democrats yelling at Jamie Dimon?
There's a political agenda that they're trying to essentially recruit these lenders into the squad. And if they aren't going to join the ideology of AOC and her friends, well, then they will get shamed into joining it and will be ostracized. So it's unfortunate that we're not harnessing these people. They employ a lot of Americans. They provide capital that you need to be able to get your first home, possibly to start your family, to provide capital for that entrepreneurial spirit to be able to start their business and to grow. When these lenders are coming before Congress, there is an important oversight role. It is important to ask questions with regards to pending legislation. But this is related to partisan politics and trying to recruit them to sign up for their far left ideology or else.
What do you think, Nick? We've got a new NBC poll. A big 2/3 of Americans, 63%, say they are now falling behind economically because of inflation. What do you think?
Yeah, and Dimon is an energy pragmatist, and he understands that energy costs are a real cost for American families that disproportionately impact low-income families. And these inflationary levels of high energy prices, high food prices, high prices across the board aren't really going anywhere anytime soon, even though they've dipped a little bit. And so people are worried about this, and they should be. And, you know, unless we get our regulatory house in order and provide the regulatory certainty to allow lenders to lend and to allow businesses to do what they do best, which is produce energy and increase supplies, we're going to be in a sticky situation.
And, you know, to your point, even former Obama and Clinton top official Larry Summers, he's warning that Biden's U.S. energy policies are literally crazy. Watch this.
It's kind of insane that we have trucks and trains carrying oil all over this country rather than constructing pipelines, which would permit accessing more resources, cheaper, safer transmission.
We are almost certainly going to see a downturn in the economy from where we are right now.
Congressman, but we're going the way, the Wall Street Journal editorial board is going after California Governor Gavin Newsom for putting aggressive new regulation on California's energy production. They've got bad shortages. They can't even keep the lights on. He's pushing them to go fully green. And then you have Wall Street executives like Larry Fink and numerous financial firms saying boycott U.S. oil and gas in order to go green.
California's policies end up causing pain to people who can least afford it. I serve on the House Financial Services Committee, but my other committee is the House Foreign Affairs Committee. We had John Kerry in his role as climate czar come before that committee, and he was asked, what is better for the environment, transporting energy on truck and train or by pipeline? And even John Kerry was saying it would be better for the environment if it was by pipeline. So when this administration cuts off Russian oil imports, instead of running off to Iran and Venezuela and Saudi Arabia, we should be ramping up domestic energy production. We should be tapping into our own supplies. Instead of canceling Keystone and fast-tracking Nord Stream 2, we should have kept Keystone on track, but also go even further. So I feel like what you're seeing from the federal level, what you're seeing at the state level, New York bans the safe extraction of natural gas altogether. We're seeing pipeline applications not just stonewalled at the federal level, but at the state level as well. And then the Americans who can least afford it are the ones who are going to pay the biggest price for these policies.
That's it. It's regressive, Nick. So what the congressman said. But you have, Texas is now saying, knock it off, Wall Street, BlackRock, 10 financial firms, nearly 350 investment funds. They're trying to get the entire nation to boycott U.S. oil and gas. I mean, the thing is, U.S. oil and gas pays for public health. It pays for teachers. It pays for roads and bridges. It pays for infrastructure via a lot of taxes, billions and billions of dollars in taxes coming into state coffers. But, the Wall Streeters who are green, fanatics don't believe in that, don't see that.
Yeah, I don't get it. And it pays for conservation and a lot of environmental causes, too. And what boggles my mind is things like the Keystone XL pipeline being canceled and prohibiting onshore and offshore oil and gas extraction isn't going to stop the consumption of these resources. It's merely going to shift transportation to more inefficient, more polluting transportation, and it's going to shift production to more inefficient, environmentally polluting countries like Venezuela and Saudi Arabia. And so this is a loss not just for American energy producers and American consumers, but it's also a loss for the environment. And it really doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Congressman Zeldin and Nick Loris, thanks for joining us tonight.